Yo, 9 to 5ers, this is Bombdele Ojo, aka Smartfire87, and welcome to my newest rant, aka we're calling it the pause menu, because pause menu sounds, how can I say this, sounds more professional, and not so,
Official.
yeah, official. Here I have the landslide, aka Elliot Mest. He's a contributor for 9 to 5, and today we're going to
Hey,
be
everyone.
discussing, yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself, my bad.
No, I'm done.
There we go. Today we're going to be discussing a bunch of different topics that have been flying around the gaming sphere right now. Let's see. The first on our list, of course, last week we had the release of Devil May Cry, or DMC, whatever you want to call it, and it's caused a giant shitstorm because beforehand people had a whole bunch of problems with how the new character, Dante, who was an established protagonist in the first four Devil May Cry games, now looks totally different.
Can I touch on that? I think people are all about how the new Dante sucks, and I don't understand this man love for Dante. I always thought he was kind of bland, so
Yeah,
I don't really
yeah.
mind, honestly. I didn't really care. I thought he looked a little lame. I played the demo though, and I didn't really care. I thought the demo was really fun, but I just hear the game is so short.
Okay. See, that's the thing, that people aren't so much, well, now that the game's out, they're now talking about gameplay and whatnot, but beforehand it was more like they were harping on the look. And after the game is released, reviewers are loving it and blah, 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 and I've seen petitions by gamers who want, it must have been a joke petition, but people want it off the shelves because they feel it's such a travesty or a tragic end of their classic.
See, that's
Devil.
nonsense. Like, it looks really good, but I mean, I don't know. Dante is not some sort of national treasure. You know, he's pretty lame. Well, he's just goofy. He's just goofy. And this one, I guess he's serious, but it just comes off as goofy, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, I personally, I don't see or feel a difference. My first Devil May Cry was 3, but I did like 4, and I get it, it's supposed to be over the top and blah, 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 and I still think that this new DMC, it still has that over the topness, just a little short, and I just don't feel that people gave it enough of a chance before it was even out. So when you had the reviewers finally saying like, hey, this game isn't as bad as we all thought it would be, you suddenly see this huge backlash from
Well, the
gamers.
battle system's really fun. I also heard it isn't as hard as the other one. A lot of people love the difficulty, but the battle system's a good time.
Before we go on, my friend here, he's a big he loves his Dark Souls.
I love
So
my Dark Souls. I love my hard games.
he loves his hard games. He loves difficulty. So when he talks about difficult stuff, he's the guy you go to. Me, I'm not used to
Well, you
being
know,
so.
it's like you play the old Devil May Cry, and you play it on normal, then you beat it, and you go to the harder difficulty, and then you get one harder one, and it changes the whole game. You have to play it completely differently.
Yeah. See, I have yet to get my hands on the new DMC, but I was one of those guys that, like, I love, most of the time I love when a series has done some kind of cosmetic change or change in general, so I look forward to, like, where they plan to take the established series or franchise and where they plan to have it end up or what they plan to change. I just touched on this in my last podcast that gamers in general do not like change in any sort of way or form, and it's becoming more and more prevalent with forum posts and Facebooking and fake petitions being posted online. You see how we like to push back against change, basically. Yeah, do you have any more on this, or we want to move on to the next topic? What do
Yeah,
you
let's
want to
just
do?
move on.
All right, here we go. Here's another thing that got me, because the Wii U's out of the gate, the 3DS is out of the gate, and we're already hearing rumors about the Xbox 720 and the PlayStation 4 or Orbis or whatever it's called. And now I'm hearing things about there being a patent that Sony had filed that allows there to be some kind of chip that stops you from using used games or some cool stuff like that.
You know, I mean, we've talked about this before, and my thing, they stop me from buying a used game or playing a game that I didn't buy, and that's the day I stop having a console, you know, and the two of us, we always trade games.
Yes,
We're letting each other borrow stuff, and, you know, I just think it's nonsense. It's nonsense.
absolutely. Absolutely. Do you feel it's nonsense, the idea, or the nonsense that these guys would actually think about putting this in the next generation of consoles?
Well, I mean both of it. First
Both.
of all,
Yeah.
there's a lot of games out there that just aren't worth $60. There's a lot of games out there that aren't worth $40.
Oh, yeah.
So to think that I'm going to pay full price for everything, even if it's a quality or decent, it's not always worth paying that huge chunk of change for it. And I don't know. It's pretty ballsy.
I have
I don't
to
like
agree.
it.
I don't. I already have an issue about when you buy a game that has some kind of multiplayer. That now that if you buy a used copy of the game, you have to buy a pass to play that multiplayer. I
Feels like they
don't.
don't have. It just seems like they don't have confidence in their product, which is
They have
exactly
to
what
get
it
every
is.
last dollar out of
EA.
every last dollar out of you. Oh, EA.
Speaking
Oh,
of EA,
oh.
Dead Space.
Dead
Dead
Space
Space with its
3.
brand new monetization scheme where you
Uh,
can basically just pay because it has a crafting system for the weapons. Now you can just pay to get all the ore you need to make the best weapons. They say it won't really help you break the game early on, but you said it just seemed like cheat codes, and that's exactly what it feels like.
That's what it is. Back in the day on our N64s or Super Nintendos or whatnot, that was basically just cheat codes. Why not just have that as a cheat code in game?
Well, they
You have to
put
bring.
in the second game, there's a difficulty for people like me. They put in a mode called Zealot mode where you got to beat the game on the hardest difficulty, and you only get 3 or 4 saves. So you need to pick your
Oh
your
wow.
saves, and yeah, so it's like a really hardcore mode, and that's really fun. But I'm thinking if there's something like that in Dead Space 3, there's probably people who will drop $3 or $4 and have no problem, you know? And it just, I don't know, it just seems counterintuitive, the whole idea. Plus, you're playing. It's one of the few like survival horror games out there where there's like limited ammo and things like that. And this just makes me feel like it's just taking a shortcut.
It's
I mean,
terrible.
it's not like All the Bravest. Where,
Oh man, I was gonna shoot that in there real quick when you were
yeah.
done. All the Bravest. Before we go on, All the Bravest is Square's newest like iOS game for mobile devices, and basically what you have is that you have different classes of characters from different parties that stretch across, I guess, almost every Final Fantasy, and they face I guess party bosses, and you swipe the screen to get them to attack.
The goal
Now,
is to sand your iPhone screen down as fast as possible using the tips of your fingers by rubbing it. There's no strategy. You can buy characters for 99 cents, but you get a random character. You can buy new levels for $4. Those are the levels you want. So already, just to play the levels you want, you're out $8 in a game that's subpar. It's just a joke, really.
I just can't believe it's that Square has gotten so bold with their money grabbing schemes. It's like they're not even trying to hide it. The game looks subpar, like you mentioned before. Like there's barely any interaction besides hitting your screen or setting your screen over and over and over again, and having your characters jump up and down and blah blah blah. And you can pay for an overheat that allows you to attack as many times as you want. But all you do is rub the screen. There's no general strategy, no forethought, no thinking, no nothing. And to charge you 99 cents per random character. Oh, I want Cloud. There's someone out there right now going, I want Cloud. I'm gonna put
We're
in
forgetting that if you lose all your characters, you have to wait 90 minutes before getting into a fight with your full party again, or you can shell out some money to get right into it. So you got to pay to play their horrible carnival rides over and over again.
Pay to play. Listen, I thought this was left. That pay to play was only, or pay to win was left only for the Old Republic
Not even
and
pay
Korean
to win.
MMOs.
It's pay to play on a game you already paid to play.
Mobile. I was talking about mobile gaming last week and how it's starting to change the landscape for handheld gaming in general. But sometimes you could look at it in a negative light because it's just going to become a cash grab. When you
There are
have
quite a few good mobile games.
There's
There's a lot
tell me
of
about that one you were telling me about, that 10,000 or
10 million. It's
10 million. Okay.
one and then enough zeros to make it 10 million. It's a good time. It's a puzzle game that meets as like a dungeon crawler, and how it works is your main character walks across the top of the screen, and when he encounters something like an enemy or a chest, you need to match tiles in order to deal with them. And you can level up your character. There's no extra money grabs in it. It's $2, and it's awesome. And that's an example of a really good, and it's got very good retro music, really good retro art. You can just tell it was like a labor of love, and it just works on the mobile console in a way that I guess it's out for PC now for $1. But I just feel like it works. Yeah, it just works so much better on the phone because I can play it on the train, and I already beat it. It's very short, but when you play it in short bursts like that, it can last a little while. So it's a fun time. And All the Bravest is basically not that at all. Everything I just described is not at all strategy. It's overpriced and it's nonsense.
I can't believe it. Sometimes when I go in there, I'm like, yo, let me see what Square offer me today. Hey, Square, what's going on?
Back in the day, I could count on Square to give me a good game. They made Vagrant Story. I love Vagrant.
Oh, this guy in Vagrant Story.
They made Final Fantasy 1 through 9. I even like 12. But they made all those good games, and then they made this game. Why'd they make this game? I don't know why they did.
Not only that, they overcharge for their iOS games. Like
Yeah, they.
you can
So
buy Tactics for like $15 or something like that, maybe more.
it's War of the Lions. Which one is that? Is that the old
That,
or the?
that was a remake that they put on PSP, and then they ported the PSP version to
But
the
still
iOS.
it's like the old one, but it's remade, right?
Remade with some extra stuff in it.
It's advanced, right?
No, it's not Tactics Advance. They would have to. I would. The Tactics Advance is amazing. Fuck the original Tactics.
You're the only person I've ever met that
That's
said
too
they
bad.
like Tactics Advanced
That's
more
too
than
bad.
Tactics.
I just generally enjoy Tactics Advance a lot more than Tactics.
Well,
I played Tactics first, and then I played Tactics Advance. I'm like, why would I want to go back and play that shit?
I
When
never
I can
played either,
play
which would
what?
make
What?
sense for me to get the
The iOS?
iOS one. So I'm thinking about it, but it's
It's
just
fun.
it's tough
It's not-
because like I don't want to give them any money.
Oh, I don't blame you. I do not blame you, but like, it's just one of those things that makes you just shake your head. And earlier we had the Nintendo Direct, and they announced a whole slew of games that we're all really excited for. I'm not gonna get into all of it
Yeah,
because
that's pretty cool.
it's just too much. It blew my mind, man. I just literally woke up and I was getting bombarded by messages by
The
people
Wii U
saying
is
like,
totally worth getting. I
yeah,
think
right
it's
now,
really
I
cool.
having a conversation with somebody like, yo, the Wii U, man, fuck it. I'm like, hey, man, fuck you. Like, it's your loss. I mean, my favorite Legend of Zelda is the Wind Waker, and they hear that it's getting an HD remake. I am excited. I'm just like, wow, this is gonna be fucking great. And then they have the Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. I don't even know how it's gonna work,
Well,
but
you know me, I was all about Zombie U, but I don't have a Wii U yet. I said yeah, I can't wait to get one though. It's going to be excellent, and it's totally worth getting. I think you could do a lot with this, and Wind Waker being remade is just great.
But this is the thing. The people are still counting on Nintendo to fail, and they don't realize in the next coming console round, it's not about who has the most horsepower. It's about what kind of experience you can bring to your consumer or to your customer.
I don't know what moron is talking about Nintendo failing, because Nintendo's the only people who made money last generation. It's crazy.
Now, hopefully, it won't be just about getting money and actually having good
I know. I'm
products.
just saying that they will be around for
Yeah,
everyone.
they'll definitely be around. But like we have the Steam box that's coming out from Valve. We're having like other console developers step in, like the Ouya. Even though that's kind of iffy, it's still an exciting time to be a gamer, my friend. And the old hats like Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, they had to rethink their business plan because it's not going to be the same round that we've seen for the past 6 or 7 years. It's going to be a whole different ball game, and they have to be ready to play, pay to play,
Pay to
pay to
play.
win.
Pay to win.
win.
You gotta pay to
All
win.
right. All right, my boy here, he loves Halo 4. Now tell us about what happened with MLG.
Halo
and
4 dropped. I mean, MLG dropped Halo 4. It had something to do with the Infinity Challenge that Halo 4 is running. They had it's like a competition over the online component for Halo 4, and you can win a car, which nobody cares about because when you win the car, you win a lot of taxes that come with it. So basically, when you win the car, you lose, but you can also win a lot of money and all this other stuff. It's sponsored by Virgin, and something I'm not entirely sure, but something with the Virgin sponsorship caused them to kind of fall out with MLG, and now Halo 4 is not being sponsored by MLG. It's also Halo Reach did not have very good MLG numbers. They dropped it kind of quickly. I don't think MLG is happy with Halo 4. I don't personally care because I don't really like Halo for competitive shooters. I think it's kind of I don't think it really works. At least Halo 4, Halo Reach, definitely not. But it is kind of sad because Halo is kind of what made MLG so big, and it's just it's just the end of an era. It kind of sucks to see it go like that.
It sucks to see a Titan fall like Halo. I mean,
well, now they got Call of Duty, and that is just the worst spectator sport ever. I don't care if you like Call of Duty, but you can't watch it and have a good time. I don't think.
oh, you can watch it and have a good time. You're just jelly. You're just gelatinous.
Jelly.
Right now.
I'm gelatinous.
You're gelatinous, but no, I feel your pain.
Bomb.
That totally sucks. I was stunned when you told me because Halo has been like the face of MLG, and now it won't be prevalent at any of the matches anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, like
I don't
really?
know all this, maybe we'll see something from Virgin because they have so much money. Maybe they'll do something because Halo. It's not like there isn't money in it. There has to be. So
there are enough players for that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
What
Now
else?
I'm gonna have to ask you some set questions here.
Uh,
My
what's
man
the
here,
question?
he's not big on handheld gaming. He's more primarily a console guy, and
Not
I
that I'm
guess you
not
play a
big
little
on
bit
them. I
PC,
just don't
right?
own one.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't own one, but how do you feel if you had a choice right in front of you? What would you choose? Would you choose a 3DS or PlayStation Vita?
3DS.
3DS. And why do you choose that, sir?
Oh, because we ain't got no games. No,
Oh,
no.
see?
It's because the 3DS. When you get a Nintendo console, you get all the fabulous remakes that come with it. So I can walk around. I can walk around with all the games I've already played. If that sounded like a backhanded compliment, sorry.
It's all good. It makes sense.
No, you see, the thing is, I feel like every single time, this is definitely Sony's fault. Every time I hear anything about the Vita, it's negative. Anytime. So I'm not really well versed in knowledge when it comes to the handhelds,
Yeah.
but I definitely hear people more excited for 3DS offerings. And every single time the Vita comes up, people just kind of shake their heads sadly.
Because it's such a
You look off into the
amazing
distance,
machine.
and solemn
Amazing
tear rolls
machine.
down their cheek because they just paid $500 for this thing and they don't know what to do with it.
It's just painful. But I just have to ask that question real quick because it's something that comes up in once in a while in conversations that you bring up the 3DS. Oh yeah, Fire Emblem. Oh yo, Animal Crossing. Blah 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 blah. Vita. What? that's the usual flow of the conversation when those two
Does
come
Vita
up.
have Monster Hunter?
In fact, good call. There's a rumor going around that they're saying that Monster Hunter 4, which is originally a 3DS exclusive, might be going to Vita, but it's only a rumor.
I asked because I really liked the PSP.
Yeah,
I really did. I liked the PSP a lot. I had a lot of games I liked.
stick with it because right now, even for 2013 alone, haven't
I
been
had
that
Monster
many
Hunter for
games.
the PSP, and I really liked that game.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of games announced stateside in 2013 for Vita, so it's kind of looking bleak right now. But on the other hand, we have a shit ton of 3DS games coming over. But yo, thank you for joining us for our the pause menu, and hopefully you'll be in with us next week when we discuss whatever happens to come up and be a big thing in the gaming industry. But thank you for joining us. This is SmartFire87, aka Bombadeli Ojo,
The Landslide, aka Lamest.
and
Have a good one.
join us next week for the pause menu. Peace.